I think we're in very good shape with China and the trade deal. We have a deal with China, as you know, but we were straightening out some of the points, having to do mostly with rare earth, magnets, and some other things. I would say we have a deal, and we're going to just make sure that everybody understands what the deal is.
All right. A lot packed in there, particularly the rare earth comment. Joining us now is Indiana Senator Mr. Jim Banks. Senator Banks, welcome, sir. As always, good to see you. What do you make of that statement, just to start there? Because the rare earth thing has become front page news. You may have seen the Wall Street Journal article, the lack of rare earth and rare earth magnets and things that I frankly cannot pronounce. Nonetheless, is bottling up automobile production. And, of course, we need it for rockets, national security, semiconductors. You probably know a heck of a lot more about it than I do. What do you make of what the president said? Do you think he solved the problem with Xi Jinping?
Well, I don't know if he's solved it. I don't know what the ultimate deal is going to look like, Larry, but it's going to be a lot better for America than the deals and the economic situation that we have currently. Donald Trump has China's attention, and that's the big takeaway from this. Chairman Xi inviting Donald Trump and the First Lady to come to China for a visit. We have Besant and Ludnick and Greer going to China to try to strike this deal and put the finishing touches on what that deal will look like, especially when it comes to rare earth minerals that we need for production of things like the F-35 and for automobile manufacturing and major products that we need in the United States. So the big takeaway here is that our GDP is up, the trade deficit is down because of Donald Trump's tariffs, especially being the first president of my lifetime to actually be tough on China. And China's economy is taking a significant hit for it, which puts us in a better position to negotiate a deal that's in America's best interest, and Donald Trump deserves all the credit for it.
You know, I agree. I have no love for China, and I like to squeeze them economically. I was part of the China trade team in the first term. We produced phase one under Trump's leadership, of course, and Lighthizer and others. We produced phase one, and China ignored it for the last 5 years, which is still infuriating me. And Senator Banks, you know, one thing that concerns me is, so China's now gotten rid of the economic reformers, and they've got a Communist Party hack running their trade team, and he says we're not going to deal with phase one anymore. Well, maybe so, but they're supposed to buy our commodities, farming and manufacturing and chemicals and so forth. We had a dispute settlement court set up by Lighthizer to stop the intellectual property theft and the forced transfer of technology. You know, very important things. If they're going to throw out phase one, then that worries me. I mean, I know Trump is on this, but I mean, let's squeeze them. If we have to squeeze them with tariffs, let's squeeze them with tariffs, because their economy is a shambles and we're their biggest customer.
Well, it just goes to show how weak Joe Biden and the last administration was. They never held China accountable for violating their end of the deal. And Larry, as you know, there are two things that are in our favor that are different from phase one in the first term. First, we're not dealing with COVID interrupting that situation. But secondly, Donald Trump is striking this deal now with 3.5 years left in his term, and there will be hell to pay if China doesn't keep up their end of the bargain. Donald Trump is going to hold China accountable in ways that they've never been held accountable before. He has their attention. This is good news for America. There's lots of good news for America. We got to pass the one big beautiful bill and get this economy running again like it was in President Trump's first term, and then keep holding China accountable. Better trade deals around the world that are in the best interest of America and our workers, and America is going to be stronger than ever before.
Well, even CBO, heaven forbid, even CBO is now scoring the tariff revenues at almost $3 trillion over the next 10 years, which, by the way, blots out any deficit increases during those periods. Not that the CBO gets any credit for the tax stuff, but they're even putting that on the. And I think another thing, Senator, just we're going to have the governor of West Virginia on. West Virginia and Pennsylvania, and then out in the Dakotas, where else? Montana, Wyoming. We have plenty of rare earths. The Bidens wouldn't let them build anything. You know, the Iron Range up in Minnesota, the Bidens put a stop to all that stuff. Now, if Mr. Burgum can, get a rush job going, we won't have to depend on China for rare earths. I mean, I think that's an important part of this.
A big part of it. And this administration, President Trump, putting us in such a better position to control our own destiny. We can't go back to the days of Republican and Democrat presidents in the past who played footsie with China, that appeased China. Let's put America in the best position for our kids and our grandkids. That's what President Trump is doing. And I have a lot of confidence that this deal is going to put us in a much better position than we've ever been before.
And Senator Banks, you got a last minute here on the one big beautiful bill. How's it looking to you, sir?
Well, we have to pass it. We don't have a choice. We can't be responsible for allowing the biggest tax increase on working class families to go into effect on our watch. That's what President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill does. It extends the Trump tax cuts on factory workers, mechanics, police officers, teachers, the men and women who go to work every day and make this country what it is, the greatest country in the history of the world. We have to extend those tax cuts. And then at the same time, there's good policy in the Medicaid work requirements. It's also good politics. Nobody should sit at home and who can work that doesn't go to work and get Medicaid. That's really good policy. We have to pass it. It's a strong bill. It's not perfect. We're going to make it better in the Senate, but we got to pass it by July 4th and get it on the president's desk to sign the big, beautiful bill into law. In America, it'll be better off, too.
John Thune calls it a growth dividend. I love that. A growth dividend, Senator Banks. Music to my ears. Anyway, thank you ever so much for coming on, sir. It's great to see you again.